We're doing our annual forum, and this is our 10th anniversary for our U.S. Senator Thad Cochran Forum for American Enterprise, and it's a special day for us.
We are pleased that you are all here with us today to recognize K-12 teachers that excel in teaching financial readiness skills to their students. With us today are esteemed guests, Mississippi Treasurer Lynn Fitch and Stuart Varney. Thank you for being here. We are celebrating the success all of you have in the classroom. If you are a master teacher of economics, please stand so that we may recognize you. If you are a master teacher of entrepreneurship, please stand so that we may recognize you. Your commitment to teaching financial readiness skills in the classroom are at the heart of success enjoyed by the Mississippi Council on Economic Education. Thank you for all that you do. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Stuart Varney. He's one of the best-known business news journalists in the world and is credited with changing the very way that we hear of financial and economic news and its reporting worldwide. He anchors Varney & Company on the Fox Business Network and appears regularly with Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, and Megyn Kelly, among others. Educated at the London School of Economics, Varney has covered every major financial story of the last 30 years, including the stunning events that have unfolded in the last few years. Please join me in welcoming Stuart Varney.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to say right from the start that what you are doing in Mississippi with the Mississippi Economic Education Council is absolutely splendid. There is no more valuable work that you can impart to our youngsters than teaching them about money. Please notice, I didn't say economics and business, although I know that you're a master teacher in that and entrepreneurial studies. I understand all of that. But we must teach our youngsters about money. You'd be astonished at the degree of ignorance about money, how you make it, how you spend it, how you keep it, how much you lose of it. You'd be astonished at that level of ignorance. May I take you back very briefly, and I won't drone on, believe me, but back in the day when I first came to America, fresh out of the London School of Economics, where you're supposed to know a few things about money and business, I did not know the basics. I did not. I had not been taught in high school, and it was all high-flown theory at university. So I'm in San Francisco, the first place that I came to in America. I got a job in television. Got it, okay? And then I wanted to buy my first house. Would you believe that I did not understand the basics of a mortgage? I did not understand it. Now, maybe I shouldn't be admitting this. A man who graduates from a fine institution should not be admitting absolute ignorance about economics, now should he? Nonetheless, I did not know. I didn't know that a mortgage was split into two parts, repayment of the principal and repayment of interest. I didn't know that you paid the interest first. That was news to me. What was this? And by the way, back in those days, the mortgage rate that I had to pay was 12.5%. Now, if you're teaching youngsters about mortgages, teach them that back in the day it was 12.5%, and that meant that every month you had to shell out X number of dollars, versus today when it's 3.5%, 4%, and you have to shell out a whole bunch fewer dollars. If you teach them that, aren't you well on the way to creating good, intelligent economic citizens of these United States? What you're doing is terrific, terrific, absolutely terrific. So I'll leave it at that. I am proud and honored to be working with this council in an endeavor of this kind. And thank you so much for inviting me and dragging me away from storm-tossed New Jersey. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks.
Now's the time to announce the awards. Best Practices for Success in Economic, Financial, and Entrepreneurial Education is a program in place to recognize teachers who have developed lessons that produce quantitative and qualitative results with students in the economic, entrepreneurship, or personal finance strands in any subject area in Mississippi schools. In 2012, The winning best practices permit teachers throughout the state to use the strategies that have produced quantitative and qualitative results. The following teachers are 2012 winners and will receive not only their best practices posted at the MCE website, but a cash prize of $300. As I call your name, would you please come to the front to receive your award, and then we'll have your picture made both with Treasurer Fitch and Mr. Barney, if he'll come up with that. Our first winner, Christy Walker, high school social studies teacher at Germantown High School in Gluckstadt, which is in Madison County School District. Her lesson is titled Colonialism in Africa and Factors of Production. While taught during the Africa unit of a 9th grade geography class, this lesson can be easily adapted for an economics or world history class. This lesson included the use of a web quest where students define the factors of production through African colonialism. There was an average increase of student scores of approximately 40 points from pre to post test. In her application, Christy stated, for the past 6 years, I've taught economics to high school seniors. However, last year I taught 3 sections of geography to mostly 9th grade students. Since I strongly believe in the importance of teaching economic concepts across all subjects and grades, I incorporated economic concepts through geography. Congratulations, Christy. Thank you. Pam Karuba, gifted teacher at Bay Waveland Middle School in Bay St. Louis, which is in Bay Waveland School District. Pam's lesson was titled Campaign Finance. You've got a lot of choices to make. Students learned about campaign funding and expenditures, how much local, state, and federal candidates rely on interest groups for campaign finances, the impact of campaign contributions on decisions legislators make, and impact on government policy, and the impact of campaign contributions on democracy. In the candidate funding simulation, students must choose one of 3 candidates to write a check for the candidate's campaign. The students are divided into 3 campaigns. Each campaign elects a chairman and the checks are counted. The students make an attribute list of their supporters and their issues, as well as graph the contributions from PACs, large individual campaigns, and small, passionate donors. Using a pretest with her whiteboard and handheld clickers, students scored an average grade of 35. The post-test was a student-written essay in which students described how representative democracy is with a fair plan for financing political campaigns at the local, state, and national levels. Congratulations, Pam. Our next winner, Shara Jones, 9th grade teacher at the Laurel High School 9th grade Academy in Laurel, which is in the Laurel City School District. Her lesson is titled Goods and Services. One thing that makes this application interesting is that the lesson was taught in a transition algebra class. It contained minimal and basic students. Shara was able to use a lesson on scarcity and gain from trade to teach transition algebra. Through the use of Financial Fitness for Life and Choices and Changes, both available on the Council for Economic Education Virtual Economics CD, students created portfolios using a graphic organizer and their anchor writing skills to answer questions. Students were assessed on their ability to construct graphs. The pre-test scores were an average of 25 and 31%. Post-test scores increased to 73 and 86%. Amazing. Some of the questions the students answered were, how are consume and consumer related? What is a consumer spending decision? What is a voluntary exchange? She was selected by the Mississippi Council on Economic Education to testify at a hearing on financial literacy at the U.S. Capitol last year, where she talked about using economics to teach elementary school math. Congratulations, Shara. We're proud of you. Kim Clemens, gifted teacher at Jeff Davis Elementary School in Biloxi, which is in Biloxi City School District, has won for a lesson titled, What's Her Secret? A navigational guide for a successful stock market game team. As part of her instructional management plan, she teaches economics to 4th and 5th grade students. Kim consistently coaches a winning team in the Mississippi stock market game. The pre to post test showed an average increase in test scores of 41%. Amazing. Through the use of brainpop.com, it's a favorite website at our house too, she teaches about stocks and shares, the stock market, and diversification. Other standards taught are market prices and how geographic and environmental factors influence life and work. Kim could not be with us today since she was recently away from the classroom, attending the Council for Economic Education annual conference on a grant from the Council. Congratulations, Kim. The Rosa Scott Middle School, it's not a middle school anymore. That's a throwback to previous years. It's now the school, Rosa Scott School. The 9th graders would quickly correct me from there too. That team in Madison, which is in Madison County School District, Jamie and Stephen, and who's here to represent? Y'all come forward. Congratulations. This team involves counselors Jamie Sullivan, Donna Cochran, and social studies teacher and social studies chairman Stephen White. This group has won for their real-world reality fair. Each year, all 9th grade students participate in this real-world simulation. All areas of the school take an active role in the event. The students research a career in their English class, and once the careers are selected, the counseling staff arranges tours in the Jackson area for the students to see how their chosen field of work might work in the real world. The math department, along with their partner, Bank Plus, provides the students with financial information and education, which includes a lesson on check writing. Multiple economic standards are addressed with this project. This application included a letter of recommendation from a parent that saw the importance of using this project to teach financial independence and the importance of making wise financial decisions. This Rosa Scott team is very important, and this project's gone on for 7 years. Yeah, my youngest son hadn't gotten a chance to go through it yet, but my oldest was the first reality fair, so it's near and dear to my heart. Thank you very much for your work. Connie Lambert, Special Populations Teacher at Alcorn High School in Corinth, which is in Alcorn County School District. Her lesson's entitled, Download This, Economic Implications of Supreme Court Rulings Regarding the Internet. Connie won Best Practices on multiple occasions for lessons she uses in her 11th and 12th grade students working on an occupational diploma. Pre to post test scores increased by 44% for Team 1 and 38% for Team 2. Class discussions and the final essay reflected a great deal of thoughtfulness in relation to the economics of intellectual property and the important role that the Supreme Court plays in protecting it. This lesson addresses Common Core state standards for literacy in history and social studies and competencies in social studies, economics, and the Mississippi Occupational Diploma. Students reviewed the role of the Supreme Court as described in the U.S. Constitution, completed in-depth study of 2 cases involving a piracy of copyrighted material, and learned the difference between patents, trademarks, service marks, and copyrights. Connie is a master teacher of economics employed by the Mississippi Council on Economic Education to offer teacher workshops around the state and works closely with the Memphis branch of the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank in offering workshops on behalf of the Council. Congratulations, Connie. The Mississippi Council on Economic Education initiated the U.S. Senator Thad Cochran Mississippi Economics Teacher of the Year Award program to recognize highly skilled classroom teachers who devote their creative energies to assure their students become effective economic decision makers. In addition, the top applicants for this award are proactive in furthering their own education by taking advantage of continuing education at the state and national level. Being an award winner reflects the teacher's ability to effectively teach basic economic concepts, principles, and understandings. In addition, their students have proven through MCEE competitions that they have successfully learned financial readiness skills. Students involved in these projects not only show cognitive growth but also experienced many exciting and interesting activities they will long remember. Demonstrated success of students is essential. We have winners of this prestigious award with us today, including Christy Walker and Pam Karuba. Please stand if you're and Rush Sweeney, excuse me, sorry Rush. Anybody else? Y'all stand and please. Are there any other awards? The winner of this award receives $500 and an all-expense-paid trip to the 2012 Council on Economic Education Annual Conference. I'm pleased to announce that the U.S. Senator Thad Cochran Economics Teacher of the Year is Ginger Tedder, Economics Teacher at Starkville High School. Ginger believes economics is all around us and chooses to teach economics from a hands-on, real-world perspective. Playful economics is one of her favorite curriculums. Even seniors in high school get excited about playing with Play-Doh. She uses Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to teach economic principles. As part of this lesson, her students have the opportunity to design a video, write an analysis paper, compose and illustrate a children's book, design an instructional Prezi or design packaging, advertising, and bake a new Willy Wonka product. Recommended by the Mississippi Council on Economic Education, Ginger attended the NYSE Euronext Teachers Workshop in New York City. She was awarded a competitive scholarship awarded to cover her travel expenses so that high-performing teachers can attend this professional development workshop. At this 5-day teachers workshop, Ginger gained an understanding of the capital raising process and the NYSE trading platforms, learned the ability to include the financial markets across curriculum disciplines, and received support materials and skills for classroom instruction. She coached the second-place team in the State Economics Challenge in 2012. Her application came with very high recommendations from her administration, co-workers, students, parents, and community leaders. She recently arranged a visit to her school by Congressman Greg Harper. Ginger attended the Council on Economic Education Annual Conference in Kansas City, Missouri earlier this month and has plans to submit a proposal for presentation at the conference next year in Baltimore, Maryland. I could go on and on. Congratulations, Ginger. Welcome to this prestigious group called Economic Teachers of the Year. Congratulations. Thank you all so much for being here today. This is where the rubber really meets the road on the work of the council. You teachers are the hands and feet of this organization, that you deliver the message through your enthusiasm and your passion for what you do. And as a board member, what I do is simply support your work, and I'm humbled and honored by what you do every day.
It is a real honor to be in this room with wonderful teachers and people who are leading our schools as I am today. That is an honor. Look, I sit out there in New York City, highfalutin on a network, you know, I'm out there on TV, I wear the makeup and all the rest of it. Now I'm in Mississippi and I'm meeting people, I'm talking to people who really make a difference in the area that I deal in. I deal in money, I deal in business, I deal in economics. It is a real pleasure to meet people on the ground floor who are making a difference in that area. I think you should be proud. I think Mississippi should be proud of what it is doing and what you are doing in the classrooms. It is absolutely terrific. My message today is that our society at the moment is shaped in its entirety by the impact of the panic of 2008, almost exactly 4 years ago today. Our politics, our financial culture, our economy, all shaped by that panic and the aftermath. And that's why we're at a crucial point for our economy and our society, shaped by economics.
What's your outlook for the short term?
Short term, it really all depends upon the election. I really don't believe that we're going to get this fiscal cliff. I don't think we'll go over that cliff, no matter who wins the election. So short term, I see compromise coming out of Washington, and I see a relief for the economy because of that, regardless of who wins the election.
What's your reaction to the work of the Mississippi Council on Economic Education?
I wish that this council and its work were duplicated in every state across the nation, because this is vital stuff. If my premise is correct, that all the problems in America today, our entire society is shaped by economics, business, money, that it's vitally important that young people know about money, business, economics. And this council and its leadership is really taking a very important role in providing that kind of education. It's a wonderful thing.
What kind of results, positive results, do you see from children in school learning about how economics affects their lives?
Well, they can follow what's going on in our society. They know what they're talking about. And I think the job of teachers is to cut through all this misleading jargon that surrounds the economy. Forget about QE3 and liquidity and all those complicated ideas. Here's the basic rule. Do not keep spending more than you're bringing in. Do not go into debt. Get a job, save money, buy a house, invest, and prosper. Teach that, please. Not a bad idea.
I'm fortunate to work at a great school with a great support system and great students, and they're very motivated, and we try to approach economics in a fun and quirky way and get their attention and kind of make the topics fun and relevant for them as seniors.
What was your reaction to being named Teacher of the Year?
I did not know prior to coming in this room, so I was very shocked and very grateful for the recognition.
What's your advice to other teachers the value of teaching students economic education?
Economics and personal finance is fundamental to just life and success. So if we don't instill that in our students, we're not teaching them to be successful adults and citizens. So it's very important. So I think they should all implement it regardless of what content they teach.
We implemented a lesson plan, Download This, which has to do with students downloading music and videos from the internet and the impact of Supreme Court rulings on this downloading of material.
What did the students learn?
We learned a lot. Most of what they're doing is illegal. So we enjoyed the lesson. We went through various situations of downloading materials. When is it legal? When is it not legal? The impact of the Supreme Court. And as he mentioned, this presidential election, our next president could possibly get to nominate up to 4 new justices, considering the age of the court. So we found another reason to consider who we elect as president. They can impact the court for years to come.
What was your reaction when you found out that you'd won the award?
I was very honored. I know the caliber of teachers that are out there, and I was truly excited, very honored to receive it.
I taught 9th graders last year, which was the first time I've ever taught 9th graders, and I usually train teachers on how to incorporate economics and non-econ subjects. So since I was teaching Mississippi Studies and Geography to some 9th graders, I decided to try to teach them some of the econ concepts. So in my geography unit with Africa, I like teaching about colonialism in Africa and the problems that Africa faces today. So I decided to create a web quest where they go to different websites and learn the factors of production in economics, but learn it through colonialism and the rush for the vast resources in Africa during that time.
What was your reaction when you found out that you won the award?
Shocked, because it seems like it's becoming more and more competitive each year with the more teachers being trained each year. So I was just glad to be invited to come.
Why is it important that teachers utilize the materials available and the training available from the Mississippi Council on Economic Education?
Well, I think the status of our economy right now with just everything that's been going on and how financial, with the bankruptcies and people not saving for emergencies, how the two tie in together in case you ever lose your job during a recession or something. How can you be financially prepared? I think that speaks for itself, why we need to start at the younger grades.
I teach transition algebra, and most of the kids in my class are kids that have low algebra skills, so they come to me before they're able to go to algebra. So I use different lessons from the econ city in order to enhance those skills. So that's what my lesson was based on.
What was your reaction when you found out that you had won the award?
I was excited and happy that the hard work paid off.
What's your advice to other teachers about getting involved in this program?
I would encourage them to get involved because it's very useful in economics, but it's also useful in math, reading. They incorporate all the subjects in each one, so that's why I think it's a good idea to get involved.
We have what's called a reality fair at Rosa Scott. It is a project where every discipline in the school is involved, everybody in the building from the highest level principal down to our custodial staff. We have students that choose their career path. They write papers in English. We have the math department that discusses the economic process about calculation and what it takes in different careers. We take all the students on a career field trip, every student in the building based on their career choice, and then we have a rotation of 8 stations set up in our gym where we have vendors come in and they have to buy electricity, housing, transportation, groceries. The banks come in, teach, they show them how to use their checking accounts.
Tell us a little bit about what the students have learned in your classroom regarding economic education.
Well, we started out learning supply and demand. We've learned how to do a budget. We've worked with the campaign, A Banker in Every Classroom, that's sponsored by the Young Bankers, and a personnel from Hancock Bank came and taught them how to write a check and even balance a check register, which many adults can't do.
What was your reaction when you found out that you won the award?
Oh, I was excited. I've been a Thad Cochran winner in 2007, and I was so delighted because this was a series of lessons that the kids really got into. They didn't want to leave class, and that's always a positive.
Your reaction to 10 years of working with students?
Well, in 10 years, if you've had that time with the children, you've had the opportunity to teach them, to talk with them, to make the applications to their everyday lives. And so I think it's been very good. And I think the more that we increase that and the more we are hands-on with our children and have a defined curriculum, we're going to just change the whole workforce and the whole path for these children.
What's your reaction to everything that you've seen here and heard here today?
It's very positive. Very, very positive. Mississippi is taking a leadership role in this, and it's a wonderful thing.